Alafia, aho, I say, namaste, and blessings to all. Welcome to Shadow of Wolves. Finally, happy Indigenous Day. This should be every day. In blessings to all those in respect to the Commission and the Circle of Nation and the First Nation of People. In blessings to all Indigenous people. We no longer say Thanksgiving because we know the truth. We know what really happened on Thanksgiving Day. The truth always comes out and the truth will set you free. We know about the massacre. We know about the slaughter. We know whose land, Canada and the United States and other nations, seen and unseen, who they belong to and how they were stolen and how they got there. So let's talk about this because thank goodness and thanks to the Great Spirit, Maferefunalo Dumare, and blessings, how did it become such a big fight when you want something and you know that you're right and you want to do something or you know something is right and you're on the right side of the justice system within the karmic universe. The karmic universe will never lie. And today, instead of saying happy Thanksgiving, thank you for giving me your land. Thank you for giving me your farming and your animals and everything else. No. We give thanks every single day for the food we eat. We give thanks every single day for the clothes we have on our backs. We give thanks every day for what we have achieved and accomplished, even if it's something very small. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how the governor of California finally declared, today being an Indigenous Peoples Day. And I give many thanks to my sister Victoria Pierce out there who moved from Florida and now lives out west. I give thanks to her. She has went through so many trials and tribulations and prevailed over each one. Why? Not because you say so or he says so or she says so. Because why? The Great Spirit says so. Her guardian angels say so. So what we think may be something very bad can turn out to be life lessons. She went out west. She's done a lot of healing. I've done prayers for her too through Obatala. As you all know, many of you who are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. I am a Santeria. What I love about Santeria is just so me. I'm so Aquarius. Why? What do I love about it? Is because we don't just recognize only of our Orishas. In Santeria, we know that there's a commission of different spirit guides that walk with us. Santeria welcomes everyone who has that path of Orisha faith. But first, we also do an investigation on Egun, on our spiritual court, on our Los Muertos, and so forth. In understanding that, and understanding the trauma that so many Indigenous people, and I will say just briefly so you understand what I mean, those of you who are new to studying about the history and transatlantic slave trade and so forth, it's not about racism or anything, no, because I'm speaking on both sides. I'm speaking about the truth, not his story, which is history, or television. I'm speaking to you about what has happened through the voice and the oracles of elders, of chiefsmen, and of their wives and children. From my family members on my mother's side being from Guyana and some Trinidad and Barbados. I have my roots also from Poland, was also taken over by many Vikings of Norway and so forth, so I'm not going to deny that blood. I can't help but to be who I am, but I am very proud to be who I am. And you know something? If you're not proud of who you are, then you need to check yourself. You need to love yourself. So let's go on about this history. This land, even those of you who are Sansistas like myself, who have been, initiated, because I'm gonna roll tonight, so just bear with me. We've been initiated in voodoo or 21's divisions, as bakors, as mambos, those of you who are initiated in sanse, that, sancistas, we all had to do ceremony regarding taking something from different areas in certain kind of ways with prayers and confirmation that it was okay to take it. So we know what we're talking about. I'm not giving secrets of voodoo or 21 divisions or sanse and so forth. Even those who are into the New Age hoodoo or voodoo, you had to take something from the land. Guess what? Yes, your people and your blood runs through the veins. Many of us are Taino. From us and my people that come from Guyana, we have Arawak Indians, we have Carib and so forth. I don't really like to use the term Indians, but I'm trying to get you to understand, because this is what you were programmed to understand. We say Indigenous now, and we know the First Nation of people. But whoever you are, whether you're into voodoo and you're taking something from this land, whether it be a stone or dirt, and you're putting it to your sacred space or to your spirit, this land, honey, this land belongs to the Indigenous people. As they used to say, AKA Native American. So we can't say, oh, Santeros like myself, Santeria, y'all are mixing practice. No, we're not. But when you take something from the land and it really, you're not indigenous. Some of you are, most of us are. Some are Cherokee, some are Taino, some are Lakota, and so forth, and Shoshone and Blackfoot. Blessings to you and your ancestors and to all of us. Okay, so there's so many things that relate to whatever we're taking. We're not mixing religion, because once you touch the dirt of this land, wherever you're from Africa, or if you're from Haiti, or if you're from Brazil and you come to the United States, well, guess what? Guess what? Well, you still have no choice but to mix culture, right? It's really, really a slim chance that everybody is just pure European, pure African, pure Indigenous. Everybody got something in them. There are people who have done tests, but let's move on from this. Let's give props and recognition where it belongs. We know that there's a distinction between what was, what is, and what shall ever be. As the prophecy speaks about the buffalo woman and the white buffalo. In understanding that and giving respect to this land, let's also not forget, because many a times, many people don't know that Haiti has Taino blood. Yes. May I say it again, please? Haiti has Taino Indios blood. It's not just from Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. Don't forget, a lot of these Los Indios and the commission of Tinyo a la Way has traveled throughout. No matter if it took them days, months, years, they have traveled. And blessings to all my people from Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, and so forth. We can't forget about them either, as all the nations have been touched in some sort of way, where they had to learn the new ways, where the women were no longer able to wear skirts and so forth, and they were no longer able to dress in their beautiful garbs of their people. The only way now it's happening is because you fight, and that's right. Many of us, including African American, as they say, those of you who are Los Indios in the circle of nations, you have fought to gain your rights, and that's what it takes. It may be a long, long time coming, but you'd be surprised of what I see when I go to powwows. It's really sad, because I do still see racism. I do. I have seen where there are those who look completely Caucasian, okay? You would think that they were from the middle of Europe, and they do have indigenous blood. And I do see the dissension, the conflict, within. I do see the conflict within my own belief. And as I am an Olorisha, I am crowned Achosi. I still see it as a black woman who will go to a tambor, and because I don't speak Spanish, they already doubt the talents that I have, even though my roots are directly from Africa. My roots are directly from the motherland. They don't care. This has to stop. And I'm not speaking about anybody 1, 2, 3, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. I've even seen it. That's why I have my own misas. My mesa blancas are beautiful, and they are in what? English. It doesn't mean that they're any better. I even had someone question me and ask me if one of my godchildren were leading the group, and I tolerated that. Why? Because I am a black woman, and I'm a proud black woman. You can say whatever you want, whether I be light-skinned, dark-skinned, blue, or gray. The very soul within your bones is carrying who you are. What you do on this earth and how you put people down, you don't know their seat in the spiritual realm. You don't know. Just because we call it Santeria does not mean it's only for people who just speak Spanish. Those people that I have met that speak English, that are so-called African American or Ecuadorian, and they're not from the common practice or the common place, have been put down. I've been going to misas, and I won't say the name, in my godmother's house. That's why I know who my madama is. People want to run around and buying this and try to compete with other people and buying madamas and stuff. You don't even know who your madama is, because you know why? You want to lead yourself before you get it in a reading and respect another spiritita or another spiritualist confirmation. These spirits need to be shown to you before you jump the gun and you decide that, oh, this looks nice, I want to have this. My madama was read through different spiritualists over the years. It took me time to pick up and decide to have an altar or homage to my spirit guides. Okay? So when you want to do this and do that, you don't know what you're picking up. Okay? You don't want to just copy stuff off of YouTube. Let me tell you something. A leader has to be, once again, a follower. Okay? You have to let people guide you. You cannot self-initiate. Now, grant you, most of us whose ancestors have been through slavery, who have been through the genocide of what indigenous people have been through, they do have what we call a Francisca, especially if you're in the line of Santeria. Let's go back to our indigenous people, okay? So in understanding our indigenous people, for example, many of us who have had dreams and so forth, like you, like me, and so forth, who have dreamt about this and know the spirits that walk with you. Some are within your blood, like myself, like you that are watching. This message is for you. In blessings to that, some of you, I don't know, you got it in the Misa, you got it in many readings and so forth. Some of you refuse, you rather spend $1 million in the Botanic or on Amazon rather than taking your time to really, really get your initiations right. I have a godson who really is a son of Tinyoala Way. And this is within the commission of Sanse. That needs to be respected. And that wasn't just divine through me. There are other people that were here that were already ordained within Sanse, within 21 divisions. And they have that vision to see. I'm not going to lift people just because you're spiritual and I'm going to give you clout to understand one thing doesn't have to do with the next. So in understanding that, we have to be led. So if I'm questioned, I can say, hey, look, this is my lineage, this is my parents, this is my grandparents, and so forth. And going back to it, we need to help lift this day. Don't give no clout to no Thanksgiving today, man. And don't do it at the end of the month when it comes for United States. Because what you are, those of you who claim to be Christian or whatever you're into, you would stop this foolishness with this massacre. Give it to the people it deserves to be given to. The more energy that you put to that, the better off you are. Know the truth. Know thyself. There is no Thanksgiving today. Today is Indigenous Peoples Day, as it really is every day. In Canada, of all those children that suffered, that were found underneath the bottom of the schools and so forth, that were buried and lied to, that were pulled from their parents' house, had their hair cut off, put on strange clothes. Why do you think so many people, Indigenous people, have you really, it's being hidden, seen how many Indigenous people in the country of Canada that were killed and nobody's looking for them, that have been caught up in using drugs and alcohol, that are stuck in what they call a reservation? Y'all think a reservation is an easy place to live? Where they're just pushed to live in freezing cold mobile homes that some of them have holes in it? Instead of giving your donations to greedy people that don't deserve it, make a difference in a child's life. The reason why you see so many brothers and sisters that are running around this street, whether you be Puerto Rican, whether you be black, whether you be Dominican or Cuban, why? Because really, when you move a certain tree or a plant or any energy into another land that's really not theirs, yes, the genetic code will act different. So how dare people turn their nose up at all these lost children of color that don't really belong in this land? They didn't ask to be here. Their ancestors didn't ask to be here. They were stolen. Let's keep it real. They were stolen. And I don't care what anybody got to say or how you look at me different, because everybody that walks into my house, because I keep my stuff very, very private, because of the people I've encountered have been backstabbers, jealous, and the list goes on. So my trust in my godchildren and those who I don't trust, listen, you can bounce and keep it moving, because I can see the jealousy and evil in you. You already had a plan for me, but God has a bigger plan for you. Olodumare has a bigger plan for you. Where you think you whispering in secret, I have a spirit that can hear everything that you're saying. And I don't care about you. Keep it moving. For those people who are backstabbers, moving right along, I'm going to tell you something else. The great Creator has a plan for you. Those of you who are good in faith, everybody in my house knows I'm not racist. Heck, I'm very open to say I am blessed to have a mother from Guyana with roots of Barbados and Trinidad, to be blessed to have a European father. That's the beauty that God decided to make within. Okay? So I'm going to tell you something right now. As the world turns, let's learn about what the Indigenous people went through. How did they lose this land? It took me a hard way. I used to be really soft within. Oh, give them a chance. They'll change. They didn't mean it. Man, the people don't care about you. You have to care about yourself first. It took a real beating of different people I really loved and cared for to see that some people, they don't have the same heart as you. Why did they lose the land? Because they had beautiful, pure hearts. Beautiful, pure hearts. They taught cultivation. They taught love. They allowed a foreigner to creep in and to redeem them. Take their children and put them in reform schools. Some of the children were raped. Let's keep it real, y'all. Beaten, enslaved, forced to sing a language they had no idea of. But guess what? A new nation has come. A new nation. Some people call it the new gods. Some people call it the gods of technology. You ever seen American gods? They really are. They really are new gods, new spirits. They are showing all the truth. All the truth and all the lies that people been holding. How dare you turn your nose up and you look at that Indigenous sister or brother in shame that's gotten drunk and they got nowhere to go, and they weren't even used to giving alcohol or drinking alcohol. How dare you put them down and arrest them and put them in jail? How dare you put your nose up and scorn at that brother or sister with dreadlocks that's begging in the street? within his genetic code or her genetic code, they didn't ask to be here. Why do you think there's so many hurricanes and anger that's coming out all the way from Africa and just taking nature by force? Your money ain't gonna mean nothing when you sit here and you rot in the ground or they put you to ashes. What it's gonna mean is your very soul. This is why I don't do wicked things to people. They could talk crap, they could talk shit, they could have their opinions, they could be jealous, they could be nasty, because guess what? Your flesh and bones would no longer be here. You're going to disintegrate and go back to earth, and then you're going to be judged. So where you want, like when I was younger, I want this decoration or that. When your ass is 40 and over and you want to be powerful, or you want to have your Orishas with power, or your Apollo spirits and pots, guess what? Your ass is already 1 foot in the ground. Don't get it twisted. Live your life and be good. For me, my respectable elders, those who I love dearly, those who are with me at the moment in my life physically, and those who have passed, Ibai into new, those people, I will never be more powerful than. Go look at some vampire stories. Do you see where the young vampires are stronger than the oldest ones? No matter how old and weak they may be, those vampires always will have more clout. I always give bendición to my elders. And why? Forget about the people. When you say bendición, alafia, with blessings, I'm talking to their head. If you crown Chango and I tell you bendición or alafia ni, I'm talking to your ori. And their ori will always be bigger than ours because it's older. What they did to that elder's head seats at the right hand of Olodumare. And if they doing something wrong, let Olodumare be the judge of that. But don't ever think you'll be more powerful than your elder. Don't ever think, I am born from Ochun. I will never think that my padrino, that I will be better or bigger than him. Because if it wasn't for his crown, and if it wasn't for his ache that put whatever he had to put on my head, the human is the human. Ochun is Ochun. That is a blessing. You need to respect your elders. And if you can't, you stay far away from them. But if you're going to turn around and talk mess to your spouse or tell secrets about what's going on in your madrino or your padrino's house at the end of a misa or a fiesta or a tambore, and go around telling your spouse or telling other people, shame on you. Get the wrath of what you need to get the wrath of. And learn to keep your mouth shut. Because in Ifa, what they say, close your mouth and you won't catch no flies. Start focus on you and elevate your filthy self for those who are so disrespectful. All I got to do, if I'm sitting as an elder to a Leo or somebody who just got crowned, and I'm telling them blessing Alafiani, and you don't say nothing, well, guess what? I ain't saying nothing to you, because I don't throw a Chelsea to the floor for nobody. And do understand that there needs to be more recognition for our indigenous people. Stop scorning at those in Canada that have fallen drunk, that are being buried, being brutalized by the police. Stop bigging up this Canada Day, man. It wasn't even called Canada at the time. Stop bigging up Thanksgiving on the United States. It's Thanksgiving every day. Why do you think in Santeria, most of the time, that people that walk into this faith, the first thing we tell them is, they have an indio. This is the term. You have an indigenous spirit. You need to keep it outside of your door. Don't underestimate the power of the Great Spirit, the power of the buffalo, the power of the bear, the power of the horse. Don't estimate the power of a wolf. They have taught us that snakes are bad. That's the new thing. Wow, really? Really? If you are a 21 division person or you a sansista, you would damn sure know to have the best, utmost respect. And I'm just keeping it real. I love all of y'all, but you have respect for Dumbala. You will have respect for Lubana. You will have respect for Santa Marta. And those of you who are into other things, Lilith or whatever, we were taught the snakes were bad because why? But in Harry Potter, it's all good to be a Slytherin, right? It's all good to have a Gryffindor like Harry Potter talk to a snake. Right? As long as it's done by all the movie stars and stuff like that. You don't know the power of the snake. Why do you think so many people have turned around and there's so many Arabs that know how to enchant snakes? Anything of nature could be good or bad, okay? Now, the power of the wolf, there's another foolishness. Oh, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Really? Last time I was taught, when I sat down with my people and I was in prayer, I was taught that the wolf walks with a whole entourage of chiefs and daughters of chiefs and females that were great chiefs and blessings within this. Stop being blinded by lies that you were told in tell-lie vision and lies being buried, and wake up. Don't think that you could trick me and think that I'm not reading through you. I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't care if you took down the Empire State Building. I know what I'm walking with, and I know that I do good. And if you don't trust what I believe in, or what good people believe in, or what teachers are believing, take your ass away from my life and from those good people with good hearts. Because only sneaks and snakes run around talking mess. And you got a problem with that person, or you got a problem with me, the best thing for you to do is stand up like a man or a woman and ask and clarify. Now, let's stop talking about Happy Thanksgiving and change it to Happy Indigenous Day. It wasn't one person that came up with that idea that really, really broke through in California. It was more than one. And I'm asking that those who have sage, those who have different bundles of sweet grass, please light it for our people, because today was a day of massacre, okay? Stay tuned for my next video, because I was told if I keep it too long, y'all won't watch. It's whatever. You learn what you want to learn. We were trained recently to have a short attention span. All of us. We were trained after you were losing your memory. All of us. Wake up. Wake up. Blessings to you all. Please subscribe, share, like, and please spread the word of Happy Indigenous Day. There's so many things that you all need to learn. And I thank you all, and stay tuned for my next video. And also to follow me on TikTok, as I also give an oracle from our Indigenous people through prayer. Alafia, aho, I say, namaste, and blessings to all.